Hello tank commanders. Welcome to my review of MERKAVA IID premium tank. As promised, there was a bit of a delay between my first introduction video and this video, but due to the fact that I didn't have a decent microphone. I was waiting for my new headset to arrive so I could record a bit more better quality sound. But the headset's here. After 3 weeks of looking at reviews, I decided to go with a Sennheiser. Seemed to be working fine. Hopefully the quality of the sound has improved. But let's get to the tank. So you can purchase MERKAVA from premium tree, which is at the moment total of 3 tanks. So we have Zalo, we have VFM MK5, and then MERKAVA is the highest tier premium tank, which you can purchase directly from the dealer. The dealer is Marat Shishkin. This is the guy who deals with all the Russian tanks, British tanks, but we also have a little gem here in this tree, because if you look at the light tank tree, we have Polish prototype tank at tier 10. So this is quite interesting. But MERKAVA is here, it's tier 7. At the moment, tier 7 seems to be the highest premium tier. I haven't seen any tier 8 in those different trees, because we have there is tier 8 M1134 here, but in this dealer only offers tier 7. The tank costs 5,500 gold. So you need to decide if this is going to be worth your money, how much this is going to be in your local currency. I think the price for this tank is quite good. 5,500 is not too much, and it's a fun tank to play. But let's get to the details. First thing I would like to mention is the way the tank looks, and I always wanted to have this tank in my garage. Very futuristic look of the turret, very modern, very sloped, and this slope works also in the game, because you're gonna have major difficulties penetrating this turret from any side, really. Even if you try from here, expect to have some difficulties. Here you'll be hitting nothing, there'll be no damage, because it's not actually a turret if you look carefully. It's just some storage boxes on the side of the turret. Tank looks absolutely amazing. It looks dangerous, especially when it's pointing its gun at you. So that's a huge advantage. But let's look at the available stats. Penetration is 600 millimeters, damage per minute is 3209, reload time of the clip or magazine is 19 seconds. MERKAVA has 3 shell magazine, so this is worth remembering that if you're not a big fan of magazines, don't buy it. If you don't mind, like I do, I actually prefer to have magazines. I really enjoy playing them. You're gonna have a magazine of 3 shells in it, so it reloads 19 seconds, and you have just over or just under 3 seconds between each shot. Interesting fact is that you can reload that clip not as a whole. You can reload 1 shell if you used it, or 2 shells. You don't have to wait to finish your clip. You can just reload 1 or 2 shells out of the clip. We're going to look at the penetration values in a minute when we go to the vehicle's ammo, but I just want you to look at maximum speed, 64.98. It is a good speed, but it takes time to reach that speed, especially when you're on a soft ground, so don't expect a very fast tank. When you accelerating, it's quite slow, but when you're at the top speed, it's quite fast. Hull traverse 27.86. It is a slow moving tank, so be careful, because people will try to flank you and your sides are quite weak. It has pretty decent gun depression, but nothing special really. -6. Aim time is good. I never have problems with aiming. It just literally, as soon as you zoom in, it's ready for you to shoot. Vehicles ammo. Now this is the interesting bit, because I seem to be using this 99% of the time, which is 600mm penetration, damage between 416 and 509, salvo or magazine size 3. It is fast traveling shell at 1455 meters, and reload time of this shell, as you can see, is longer than what they put in vehicle stats. It's 20 seconds. Rockets. I don't know why, but at the moment I'm not a big fan of rockets. I seem to be getting some mixed results with it. It says here that this rocket has penetration value of 800mm. Well, it doesn't seem to work this way, because this with 600 seemed to be on green and penetrating more and better than this 800. I'm still testing rockets in this game at the moment, so I don't know if it's going to be good against particular part of armor, like it says here, able to penetrate explosive reactor armor. We'll see that later when I test it on more tanks. Don't tend to use this one, 500mm high explosive anti-tank, because it's suffering with low penetration. And even if the engine of the tank, enemy tank, is exposed, remember that you have a clip. Reload the clip with the 3 of them, so I tend to stick to this. It seemed to be working, like I said, 9 out of 10 times. And this is when my favorite bit is the armor. Look at that turret, 800mm of armor frontally, 350mm of frontal hull armor, and pretty weak sides and very thin back. So straight away you know how to play this tank. You need to face the enemy with your strong frontal armor. But a bit more about this frontal hull armor. Turret is extremely difficult to penetrate. I would even risk saying impenetrable at that point. But look at the hull. It only has 350 on paper. I'm sure you can find tier 7 tanks in this game like Challenger or Abrams, which much thicker armor, but this armor is really well sloped, and in this right section, just under driver's hatch, you can see some plates, which is reactive armor. No, but I think it's applique armor, which also acts as additional armor, and it's generally difficult to penetrate this tank in the upper plate. If you play tier 7, 8 heavy tank, maybe tank destroyer, you should be lucky penetrating this lower plate, because it's showing me usually orange, not green, orange when I'm aiming at it, and I usually have ricochet or module damage without any actual hit point damage. The weak points from the front are this area under the turret, when you see this dark area where the gun is, and it seems to be the driver's hatch. But when this tank is moving, and it's moving its turret left, right, it's really difficult to hit it in the weak spot. So frontally, I always struggle with MERKAVA. You need to point this nose towards the enemy. Now, retrofits. Because the tank is pretty slow in terms of traversing the hull, I thought about adding retrofits which will improve the traverse of the hull, but actually there's a bigger problem with this tank. The tracks. You being tracked almost every other shot. So what I did, I put additional repairs and increased hit points of the wheels, suspension wheels, because when this tank is stationary, it's tracked. People will flank you very easily, and you're gonna struggle because this side armor and back armor is not gonna protect you against anything. Even tier 4, 5, they will penetrate you. So I'm using at the moment increased repairs, and I'm using increased hit points on the suspension wheels. However, as you probably already know, or maybe not, for those of you who don't, this is just like first level of the retrofit. You can later unlock higher version when you play some other tank from the tech tree. And as you can see, this repair time can be increased to 35% if you unlock through TATB, but it costs 750,000. I also use improved gun breach. I already unlocked the upgraded gun breach, which provides you with 10% faster reload speed. This is always useful. I strongly recommend having it on every single tank. However, it costs 3 million credits, so it is a serious commitment of credits. And the same goes with the wheels. Standard reinforced wheels have 20% more hit points and protection against falling, but then you can unlock by unlocking it through type 92. 40, 40, 50 is definitely something you want to have on some of the tanks which are being tracked quite a lot. You have, like in any tank in this game, you're gonna have commander and 2 crew members. This is the commander I'm using at the moment. Crew hit points increased by 20%, aim speed by 10%, ammo swap increased by 20%, vision range increased by 20%, but I'm gonna be probably the other choice is camo factor. You don't really need a camo factor here because the tank is really big and it's being spotted all the time. But I'm going to be looking into other commanders shortly. It is up to you how you're going to configure this tank. Crew is already on 2, so I have traverse speed and terrain resistance. Terrain resistance definitely something you need for this tank when you're on a soft ground. You have turret traverse speed and aim speed on the gunner, and on a loader I put rate of fire increased, and I believe this is ammo swap. Right, let's go to the actual gameplay when you can see how much the tank is earning and how much damage it can take and how well it also damages other tanks. There'll be an edited mixture of few gameplays which I played with my friends. I don't want to bore you with 15-minute games when things are not going well or nothing's going around the tank. So I edited few gameplays for you to have a good look at the tank, and also end stats which show you how much credits you can actually earn with this tank. Personally, absolute beast. If you learn this tank, if you know how to use it, if you know what you can do with it and what sort of enemies you can attack with it, and you have someone who's gonna defend your side and defend your back, preferably another MERKAVA or a fast tank which will stop people from flanking you, this is an absolute damage soaking beast. So I strongly recommend getting it. Because it's a premium tank, everything is already upgraded, so you don't have to worry about that. And as a premium tank, you're going to be getting 25% more credits per battle. Welcome again, and as promised, we now going to show you how MERKAVA behaves in a global game. Global operations on Desert Crossing. Thank you to Kamikur 3PL and Ted3 for creating a platoon with me, so you're going to see 3 MERKAVAs in action. We are tier 7s here, we have 1 tier 8, not many players, but you should be able to see what MERKAVA is capable of when we are fighting in a platoon of 3 players. We're gonna try and stick together. We're gonna go to the same point. I'm loaded with standard ammunition. It seems to be doing the best job. I don't really use the middle one, which is high explosive anti-tank, and I very rarely use rockets. This is one of the problems with MERKAVA. If you have to stop and change the direction, you're going to be doing it very slow. This tank is not very quick to accelerate. It's okay when it's rolling. It's not very good when you have to stop and turn. So you need to be careful not to be flanked, because if you're flanked in this game, expect to be destroyed pretty quickly. Okay, we're attacking AI enemies and going to be approaching to point 1 now. Try to capture it pretty quick. And we'll see if we're going to encounter any resistance here from human players. And we have more AI. Okay, we're going to start emptying the magazine now. Ricochet. The angle of the armor was too big. Now I'm going to reload 2 shells out of the 3 because you can do it. Something which I really enjoy about this this game. It is possible to reload just a fraction of your magazine. And if you're reloading 1 or 2 shells out of the 3, expect the reload time to be shorter accordingly. Okay, we're gonna now start moving to point 2 to help with the aircraft carrier point. And so far we didn't encounter any human player resistance because there's not many players in this game, but we should be able to see some action now. Okay, one of us is gonna have to go back. Let it be me, because someone is approaching our point 1. And we don't want to lose that point because we already have number 2 captured by the enemy and number 3 is just about to be captured. So I'm returning quickly to point 1. There's a Stingray tier 7 doing a good job of resetting the cap. I'm gonna try to spot the enemy and attack him. Don't know where he is. There he is. It's a tier 10 tank. Sorry, tier 8 tank. What is it? It's a AMX 10 CR, which I believe it's a premium tank. But that Stingray on our team finished him pretty quick. Two of my buddies are capturing number 2 now. As you can see, when the tank is at its top speed, is pretty fast, especially when you keep to the flat, hard terrain like tarmac. So we're accelerating a bit faster here. I'm also using a retrofit which gives you a faster acceleration, I believe 10% of softer ground. I used stronger suspension wheels now we're gonna be fighting against the Stingray. Tier 7. So two of his shells didn't penetrate my armor. He managed to track me. However, third shell damaged me. It's gone through my armor. I'm trying to keep my front armor to him. And unfortunately, one of the bunkers attacked me. So I need to be careful now. Okay. What's happened here? This bunker in front of me. I was in the range of that bunker, and he managed to squeeze some damage into me. Bunkers are extremely dangerous. They can quickly destroy your tank or damage it seriously. So my mistake here was not to keep the distance from the bunkers, but I managed to destroy that Stingray. And I'm gonna attack this AI tank. Throwing smoke now to reload the magazine. I'm conscious of my back being exposed to an enemy spawn direction, so I want to make sure that I'm out of here. And try to attack number 6 again. Soon we're gonna change the spawn points, and number 4 is gonna be where I am, exactly in this place, at the back of the containers. As you can see, AI enemy is doing a good job in this game, and if I'm not careful now, I'm gonna die. I managed to finish him, but I only have 70 hit points left, so I have to go back and repair my tank. Kamiko and Ted doing good job in the middle of the map, holding that point 2 for us. With damaged engine, I'm moving really slow. Don't have repair available anymore. I used it before. I'm just trying to get to a repair point here now. Unfortunately, I've been spotted by that tier 8, sorry, AMX and destroyed just before I managed to get back to the repair point. So now I'm going to respawn here because Ted and Kamiko are going to be trying to capture number 5. I'm going to try to capture number 4. One great thing about global operation is the ability to spawn, so if things gonna go wrong, you always have this ability to return to the battle. Heading towards point 4. Trying to check what's in front of me because I don't want to be stopped on some rocks or some small pieces of metal like this, for example. For some reason the physics overall is really good in the game, but for some reason we're being stopped on some objects which should be crushed by a tank. So hopefully this is going to be changed with one of the upcoming patches. Now, as you can see, this tank is pretty good frontally. The armor works really well frontally. However, from the sides and from the back, like most of the tanks, it's not very good. So you need to make sure you play hold down or you point the front of your armor to the enemy. You also notice that you're going to be tracked quite frequently, so make sure you have retrofit to repairs, faster repairs, and I also have stronger wheels with more hit points for the suspension. We should be able to capture this point now. Yes, we have point 4. At the moment we're winning the battle, but the difference in points is very small, so we need to be careful. I'm just gonna protect this point because this is the only point we have now. I'll try to destroy this drone. It's not easy to hit him. Someone else done it for me. if just quick look at the whole traverse here, it's slow. Even on the hard surface, it's pretty slow. So you need to be careful not to be flanked by faster tanks or even faster heavies. I've just noticed tier 7 tank approaching, so I'm ready for him. It's also a MERKAVA, so it's going to be interesting to see how we're gonna penetrate that MERKAVA. No penetration to the lower plate. He managed to penetrate me because my angle is a bit too big. Reloading the magazine now. As you can see, he tracked me, and there's nothing I can do when I'm tracked. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and we're gonna be attacking him. He's making a mistake of exposing his weak side. I'm reloading one of the shells in my magazine. I also see number 8 there somewhere, so we need to be careful. I'm gonna try. There he is. Number tier 8 destroyer. Unfortunately, MERKAVA has my weak side exposed now. Okay, I managed to change direction. I'm gonna try to flank him. Oh, there's me against 3 tanks now, so this is gonna be interesting. But I have my MERKAVA with its back to me, so I'm gonna try to pump the full clip into him. Hopefully, good roll to finish him. Yes, it is enough to finish him. As you see, Stingray is a very fast light tank. And now being surrounded by 2 enemy tanks, there's nothing I can do. I'll try. He just made a mistake of ramming me, which is good for me, but Stingray is managing to finish me. Overall, it was pretty good. I managed to hold that point 4 on my own for a while. So now I'm gonna go to number 6. My buddies are going to 7. We build up a bit of an advantage, but we need to be careful because in this game you can lose advantage pretty quickly. So enemy is already capturing number 7 and 6. As soon as I'm back, I'm gonna go to point 6. Without any retrofits, without any boosters, this tank reloads just over 20 seconds. But like I said, you can reload separate shells. And do it. If you have a chance to reload partial, clip partially. Otherwise, you're gonna have difficulties.
We've captured point 8. Enemies captured point 6. We have captured point 7.
I think that there is a Stingray here somewhere. And Stingray is a very dangerous tank. No, it's a Leopard 2. You see, even now I'm reloading the clip, because by the time I'm gonna approach him, I'm gonna be able to have 3 shells ready. You can see it's quite easy to penetrate this tank. He only managed to penetrate me once. I managed to penetrate all 3 shots into his lower plate. That Leopard is also tier 7, but it's not an opponent which will give you any trouble if you're playing MERKAVA. Most of the shots, if you're frontally directed at him, you're going to be able to bounce. Managed capture 6, and now we have 3 points captured for our team, which is extremely good news, because we should be able now to gain a lot of advantage and finish the game with victory. Okay, you can hear bombardment coming. I don't know where it's coming. Is it gonna be us? No, it went elsewhere, which is good news for me. Now we're gonna protect number 7, and it's only 360 points left until we win this game. The time run out, we won the game. Our advantage was much bigger. I believe it was 1300 to 300 or something like that. Now we're gonna see how much I earned for this battle, how much damage I've done, and based on results we'll see how much silver you can expect for a battle like this. I want to clarify that I haven't used any boosters on silver for this game. This is just straight from the tank itself. Okay, so we have 10,896 damage, 5 destroyed tanks, 25 from spotting. The tank earned 9,231 of 3 orange experience, and we have, without any boosters, we've earned 315,000. You're gonna be the judge if this is enough or not enough. I really like this tank. It's not good to be alone in this tank when you're surrounded by 1 or 2 enemies, because they're gonna be able to flank you, hit you in them weak back and weak sides. The turret on this tank is very strong, 800 millimeters with a very good slope, so you need to try to play frontally or hull down. I'll just like to show you a couple more examples of how much you can earn in this tank. So here for 20,900 damage you can earn 600,000 credits. And in this another example for almost 13,000 damage I earned just over 500,000 credits. Of course this depends on other things you've done in the game, not only the damage but also the other performance stats. You can see a lot of different medals here. Also the boosters you used in the game. This ends up our review. Thank you very much for watching, and please like and subscribe the channel for more content, which is going to be coming from me shortly. I'm planning on reviewing other premium tanks, but also tanks from the main tech trees. I also going to be streaming content, live games and battles with me and other people I'm going to be platooning with. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, hopefully you enjoyed the review. Of course, I'm sure there's things I can do differently and improve. Please comment, give me a feedback. I'm going to read it. Thank you very much for watching once again, and see you soon. Enjoy the game.